You're kicking back with your morning coffee, maybe on a porch in sunny Florida, or curled up in a cozy Wisconsin living room. You're swapping stories about the good old days, road trips that didn't need GPS, family cookouts where laughter sizzled louder than the grill, or that unforgettable night you danced until your feet gave out, but your heart kept going. Those moments, they're the heartbeats of a life well lived. And here's the thing. What if you could still feel that same spark, that same vibrancy, without having to jog around the block or battle creaky joints just to feel alive? Well, welcome to No Walking, No Problem, Healthy Aging Tips for Seniors, where we're sharing real science-backed ways to stay energized, healthy, and joyful after 60. No sneakers required. Stick around for true stories of folks just like you, from the dry heat of Arizona to the gentle hills of Virginia, who found simple, powerful tricks to boost their energy, ease those little aches, and live their golden years with more gold than gray. Trust me, this isn't just advice. It's like a great yarn from an old friend, and it just might change your day. The morning sun just peeking over the horizon, casting a golden glow across your yard. You're swapping stories with a neighbor, maybe about the time you took the grandkids fishing, or that summer road trip across the Midwest. There's something special about these moments, stories that connect us, that make us feel alive and part of something bigger. Now, picture weaving a little bit of health into those moments, without ever needing to lace up sneakers or hit the gym. That's what we're talking about today. How to stay healthy after 60, even if walking isn't your thing. This is a story about simple, practical ways to keep your body strong, your mind sharp, and your spirit bright. Told through the lives of folks just like you, from Arizona to Wisconsin to Florida. Let's start with John, a 72-year-old retiree from a sunny little town in Florida. John's knees creaked like an old porch swing, and walking to his mailbox felt like climbing a mountain. He loved his morning routine, sipping coffee while flipping through the paper, but he was dragging by noon, low on energy and feeling stiff. One day, his buddy from the local Veterans Club shared a tip that sounded almost too simple. Just sit outside in the early morning sun for 10 or 15 minutes, John. Let it warm your hands and legs while you sip that coffee. John gave it a try. He'd sit on his porch before 8 a.m., letting the soft Florida rays soak into his skin. 3 weeks later, he noticed something remarkable. His knees felt less achy, he was sleeping better, and he even started puttering around his garden again, planting tomatoes like he used to. Why did this work? That early morning sunlight is like a magic elixir for folks over 60. It boosts your vitamin D, which about 70% of older Americans don't get enough of. Vitamin D strengthens your bones, lifts your mood, and can even help keep your blood pressure in check. Low levels can leave you prone to falls or feeling blue. The trick is to catch those rays before 8 a.m. when the UV is gentle. No need for fancy equipment. Just pull a chair onto your porch, balcony, or even by an open window. Expose your hands, arms, or legs for 10 to 15 minutes, no sunscreen, and let the sun do its work. If you're in a cloudy place like Wisconsin, don't worry. Even filtered sunlight helps. It's like giving your body a warm hug to start the day. Now let's roll from that sunny porch to the kitchen, where Mary, a 68-year-old from Ohio, discovered another piece of the puzzle for how to stay healthy after 60. Mary was a book club regular, always ready with a sharp opinion on the latest novel. But chronic back pain was making it hard for her to sit through those lively discussions. She'd been on a low-carb kick, thinking it was the key to staying trim. But her doctor pointed out she was missing something crucial: foods that feed her bones and joints. He suggested adding things like salmon, Greek yogurt, and walnuts to her meals. Mary wasn't big on fish, so she swapped in canned sardines, bones and all, for extra calcium, and started stirring almond butter into her morning oatmeal. A month later, she was back at her book club, pain-free, laughing, and even hosting a potluck. Here's the deal. Your bones and joints need the right fuel to stay strong. Calcium-rich foods like yogurt or cheese, omega-3s from fish or chia seeds, and magnesium from nuts or spinach are your allies. They reduce inflammation, keep your joints limber, and help you move without wincing. If salmon's not your thing, try affordable options like eggs, kale salads, or even a handful of almonds while you're watching Jeopardy. Just go easy on salty snacks like chips. They can pull calcium right out of your bones. Mary learned that the hard way, but turned it around, and now she's the one sharing recipes at her club. Now let's head over to Arizona, where 75-year-old Frank, a retired high school principal, was facing a different kind of struggle. It wasn't his body that was giving out. It was his memory. Names slipped away. He'd walk into a room and forget why he was there. Sometimes he couldn't recall the name of his favorite baseball team, and that scared him. He feared he was on the road to dementia. Then, during a call with his daughter, she said, "Dad, you're not talking to anyone anymore. When's the last time you shared one of your crazy school stories?" That hit him hard. Frank used to tell stories all the time about students, staff meetings, and that one time he accidentally locked himself in the gym. So he made a change. Each morning while drinking his coffee, he'd call an old colleague or voice record a story and send it to his grandson in college. At first, it felt silly. But within a few weeks, something remarkable happened. Frank felt sharper, names came quicker, and his grandson started responding, asking questions, even laughing. They bonded, not over medical charts or memory pills, but over stories. What Frank discovered is this: your brain is like a muscle. Use it or lose it. The best way to keep it strong isn't just crossword puzzles, it's connection, talking, laughing, recalling old memories, and sharing them out loud. It lights up parts of your brain that keep it young. So whether it's your grandkids, a neighbor, or even your voice recorder, speak, tell a story, bring back the memories. You're not just passing time, you're preserving your mind. Now, let's hop over to a small town in Oregon where 66-year-old Rita was learning a different lesson. She'd always been full of energy, knitting scarves for the local shelter, volunteering at the library. But over the last year, she noticed her get up and go had gotten up and gone. She blamed it on age, until a neighbor said something that stopped her in her tracks. "Rita, you drink enough water for a cactus in winter." She laughed, but the truth stung. She'd never been big on water, too plain, too boring. But now she was paying the price. Dry skin, low energy, and headaches. So Rita made a deal with herself. She'd drink 1 glass of water before every meal. No fancy bottles, no tracking apps. Just a plain old glass by the kitchen sink. Within a week, she noticed her skin looked better. She wasn't as tired after lunch. Her digestion improved. It was like oiling a rusty machine. Here's the scoop. After 60, your sense of thirst dulls. You might not feel thirsty, but your body still needs the water. Even mild dehydration can sap your energy, cloud your thinking, and make your joints ache. But you don't need to gulp gallons. Just sip throughout the day, especially before meals. And if water's too boring, try herbal tea, fruit-infused water, or a splash of lemon. Your body isn't a cactus. It's a beautiful blooming garden. Water it. Let's now meet George, a widower in Michigan, age 70, who found his spark not in a gym, but in his garage. After his wife passed, George found himself alone, wandering the house, watching TV late into the night. He wasn't moving much. His blood pressure climbed. He felt heavy, in body and in heart. Then one day, while sorting through old boxes, he found his wife's old record player and a stack of their favorite vinyls. He dusted it off, put on some Nat King Cole, and let the music fill the house. And before he knew it, he was dancing. Right there in the living room, not for exercise, not for show, just for her. And he kept doing it. 10 minutes every morning, music on, dancing like no one was watching, because no one was. Within weeks, his mood lifted. He started sleeping better. Even his doctor noticed improvements in his heart rate and blood pressure. What George learned is something powerful. Movement doesn't have to be walking. It can be dancing, stretching, rocking in a chair, gardening, even clapping to a song. The key is to move in a way that brings you joy. Joy unlocks motion. Motion unlocks health. And music, it opens the soul. Let's not forget Linda, a 69-year-old former nurse from North Carolina. She thought she had to slow down because she was getting older. She believed rest was the answer to her backaches. But the more she rested, the worse she felt. Her muscles got stiff. She couldn't sleep, and she missed the sense of purpose that had once defined her. So she made a radical decision. She joined a local chair yoga group at her senior center. It was gentle. No mats, no poses that tied her into a pretzel. Just slow, mindful stretching while seated in a sturdy chair. After just 2 sessions, she could bend down and tie her shoes again without groaning. After a month, her balance improved. After 3 months, she led the group when the instructor was out. Linda's story reminds us that motion is lotion for your joints. You don't have to run, jump, or even walk long distances. You just need to move with purpose, with care, and with joy. Chair yoga, tai chi, or even stretching while holding onto the sink can change everything. It's not about age, it's about attitude. Now we come to Barbara. She's 72, lives in Vermont, and for most of her life, she did everything right. Ate her veggies, avoided smoking, went for walks every morning, but she carried one quiet weight that no doctor ever asked her about, and that was loneliness. After her husband passed and her sister moved away, Barbara started to feel invisible. She'd go days without hearing her own voice out loud. No one to say good morning, no one to ask, how was your day? Her smile faded, her energy dropped. She stopped dressing up, even to go to the store. Then one afternoon at the library, she saw a flyer for something called Story Buddies, a program where seniors read books over Zoom to elementary school kids. Barbara almost walked away. Technology? Cameras? She wasn't sure she could do it, but something inside her whispered, try. She signed up. Her first call was shaky, the camera tilted, the lighting too bright. But the moment she read the first page of Charlotte's Web, a little boy on the other side grinned and said, "You have a nice voice, Miss Barbara." That moment lit something in her that no vitamin ever could. Now she reads twice a week. She has a new hairstyle. She wears lipstick again. She even sings to the kids at the end of each story. What Barbara found is the deepest truth of all. Connection heals. Loneliness is not just sadness, it's stress. It breaks down your body, your immune system, your heart. But you don't need 1,000 friends. One connection, just one, can change everything. A neighbor, a child, a friend across the country, even a pet. What matters is that you matter to someone. So what do all these stories have in common? Not one of them is about magic cures or anti-aging serums. They're about choices, small, daily, heart-led choices. To dance, to laugh, to speak, to drink water, to stretch, to share, to matter. Aging isn't a decline, it's a shift toward living with intention. Your body may slow down, but your soul, it can blaze brighter than ever. If you're listening to this and thinking, but I've let myself go, or I'm too far gone, stop. Right now. You're not too late. You're not too old. You're not broken. You're breathing. And that means you still have power. Power to change, power to grow, power to feel alive. In this very best gift you can give yourself is not a pill, a product, or a promise. It's presence. Your life isn't behind you. It's with you. Right now, in your hands, in your voice, in your choice to care for yourself. So, what will you do today? Take a sip of water? Stretch while listening to your favorite song? Call someone you love? Laugh at a silly memory? Step outside and feel the sun on your face? Whatever it is, do it. Not because you're fighting aging, but because you're honoring living. You've come this far, and there's still beauty ahead. Let's not just add years to your life. Let's add life to your years. Because you, my friend, are still blooming, and the world still needs your light. And if this message spoke to your heart today, if you felt seen, understood, maybe even inspired, then please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel, The Health Revival. We're building a place where age is not a weakness, but a crown of wisdom. A place where you matter, where your health, your joy, your stories are honored. So join us. Let's walk this journey together. And until next time, may God bless you.